So hello everyone, this is your Women Today YouTube channel. So I'm Krishna hosting this channel. So we interview a lot of women entrepreneurs and also working women across India and across the world. So today our guest is Honorable Rushika ma'am. She's from Pune. She's a German and Chinese language trainer. So I welcome you Rushika ma'am to this Women Today channel right now. So hi, how are you ma'am? So please introduce about yourself to the audience so that people will be able to know about yourself now.
All right, thank you so much for having me. My name is Rushika. I'm the founder of Language, the Foreign Language Institute, and we provide courses for German. And soon we are going to start with different foreign languages as well. But currently, we have the courses of German language from A1 to B2 level.
So that's a very short and quick introduction about yourself. So tell us, ma'am, what inspired you to become a German and Chinese language trainer? Is that somebody like came and told you like you should pursue this career, or is it you are very passionate towards like you want to read this and you want to make yourself aware of this language, or is it like learning this language you can move to a different country? So what made you actually enter into this professional career, ma'am?
Well, to be honest, when I was in 11th standard, that time I had done a course in German language, and that made me think that if I could explore this further, so I did my graduation. I completed C1 certification from Goethe Institute. So Goethe Institute is an international body that conducts all the courses as well as the exams. So I did my international certification from there. I did my bachelor's, and then I this is how I got into German. I started working with Amazon. I worked with Amazon for about uh, three and a half years. And suddenly one day I felt I want to up my game. I want to learn something new. So because the things were getting a little monotonous. So I thought, why not take up a challenge and learn Chinese? So this is how I got into Chinese. And later on, then I switched to Accenture. And now, so in Accenture, I got this opportunity to teach internal students, internal employees, and that was a very big platform. So half day I was working on Chinese, half day I was working on German, and I taught about 400 students in Accenture. So that really gave me push to explore this further. And to be honest, whoever learns a language teaches somebody on and off. So throughout that 10 years experience, I have been teaching, but on a very low scale. So maybe a friend or two in an institute, but not on such a big platform. So that Accenture gave me that opportunity to teach on a bigger platform. And then I decided to explore this further. So before 2 years, I left my job in Accenture, and then I have my own institute now.
So tell us, ma'am, right now you have told us that you worked in Accenture and right now you have quit your job and you have started focusing on your professional career like teaching German and Chinese language. So where do you see yourself after 5 to 10 years? Like you want to be the same language trainer, or is it like you have already learned this German and Chinese language? So you're planning to move to a different job in German and Chinese, I mean, in Germany or China, ma'am?
Well, I have already been to Germany and China, but over this 10 years, I have gathered a good information or good exposure to the language. And right now, what I see myself doing is let's say next 5 years is the same. I do want to simplify the grammar, let it be Chinese grammar or German grammar, and make it easy for the students who are trying to have their career, who are trying to do or go to Germany, go to China, or any other language. Because learning a language does require a skill, but also a good support. And what I have seen through a lot of students' experiences or their stories is that they do lack a good support in that. So they maybe register themselves to a course, but the kind of support they should get, they do not receive that, and due to which they may not enjoy the journey. Because it's a beautiful journey. Learning a language exposes yourself to different kinds of career opportunities. And because we will anyway talk about that. But what I see myself doing is I want to explore that more, make this language learning journey easy for everyone. So that's my goal for next 5 years, and after that, let's see.
So right now, speaking about China, what are the cities you have went through, and is it like you go and speak to a native person in China? So they'll be very astonished to see yourself speaking in Chinese language. But how do you actually connect to the Chinese and the German people over there? Is it like they feel very native, they, like there is the pronunciation, the fluency in Chinese and German language? So is it like, how far do you rate yourself, like regarding 1 to 10? So how far you rate yourself to the language now? So is it like you're completely totally fluent, or is it like you have to improve your accent, or is it like you have to learn the local native language, like a few words? So tell us about the kind of experience you had in China and Germany, ma'am.
All right. So my exposure to German language is since 2009. I have done graduation, I have done the levels, I've worked with German clients, I have gone to Germany through my previous employer, Amazon. I was there for a 3 weeks duration. And China, I have been sent to China twice on a scholarship, on a cultural scholarships. So the first time I went to China was 2019, and the second time last year in September I went on 2 scholarships until now. So I would say that both of these languages work differently, and like I mentioned, the exposure to the German language is bigger than the exposure to the Chinese language. But one thing I can say that the kind of German or Chinese or any other language that we learn by sitting at home, it is very bookish. So when you go there, the kind of native proficiency that they have, or in fact we have when we speak in our mother tongue, is completely different. So if you want to be able to go close to the native proficiency, you have to stay in that country to be able to learn that. So when I went to China, for instance, last year, I was able to communicate. But the problem that I faced was the local terms or local phrases I was not acquainted with, plus the accent of the Henan, the in Henan province I have gone. So there they use a different kind of accent. So to understand that, I realized that after coming back to India, I'll have to work on that as well. So I have to expose myself more to the dialect, different kinds of dialect in Chinese to be able to understand that. But what I understood was that I was able to speak after whatever knowledge I have gathered throughout the years. I was able to speak. So that's something. Yeah.
So tell us about your German trip, ma'am. So is it like you visited Berlin, like different cities over there, or is it like you visited only Frankfurt? Or tell us about your kind of cities and tell us about the kind of experience you had with the German people over there, ma'am.
All right. I went to Germany in 2017. I was sent to my previous employer, Amazon, and I went there as a mentor of our process. And the Germans that I dealt with were mostly the employees, internal employees of Amazon. And I was there in Berlin for 3 weeks. What should I say? I cannot give you more details about the process, of course, because that is confidential. But I can just say that my experience was with Germans was excellent. But again, that experience was just limited to the business settings. If I will go to Germany and stay there as a proper student or work there for longer duration, then I may have a different kind of experience. Because that was my also first time visiting Germany. So I was more into exploring the German food, culture, and visiting the places. And luckily, I had gone to the capital city, which is Berlin. So I was more into exploring the sightseeing. Yeah. So if I get a chance again to visit Germany for a longer duration, then I may come across the experiences that people talk about. You know, the typical behavioral experiences of people, let's say.
So you're teaching online classes, or also do you take offline classes, ma'am?
Currently, I take only online classes. So because of COVID, we have all of us have gotten introduced to that mode of learning as well, and I think it's more comfortable for me. Offline classes may so since I registered my institute in Maharashtra right now, I do not actually need a physical space because most of them my students are studying in Germany or they are connected to me via different from all the corners of the world. So I don't actually need a physical space at the moment. And due to the time difference as well, I have to manage that between India time and the students who are in Germany.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it like
But
okay?
maybe down the line, I will open an institute here at Pune.
So you're planning to open an institute in Pune in the upcoming years?
Maybe. Yeah. I think that will be the right choice, the right step.
So you're planning to just recruit any other German and Chinese language trainers, or is it the only person you are going to teach in that institute in the future, ma'am?
Well, currently I have four trainers with me,
Oh,
four excellent trainers who have done C1 certification, and they are taking classes alongside with me. Yeah.
so after learning German language, so since you know German and Chinese language, why do not planning? I mean, why you don't plan to move to a different country like for like Germany or China? Why is it like you're staying in India and you're teaching online classes?
When you learn a language, it does not necessarily mean that you go and stay in that country, then only you can learn it better. Yes, that's a part of it. But first of all, I'm married, so my husband and we stay here. So that's also a big step to take if you want to move to another country because we have to look at all the sites for that. And second thing, I'm more comfortable here right now. So that's a part of my destiny currently to be in India, and I'm utilizing it to teach well. So that's all I can
Yeah,
say right
I
now.
do understand the comfort we get in our home country. So because the basic thing is comfort, and also at the same time we are access to get a lot of good things over here in India when compared to foreign countries. I do understand that. On the other hand, like if a student is coming to you and if they're learning German and Chinese language, so what are the jobs that they can expect in future? Like consider other than translator, consider other than being a business analyst for a company for just translating between the clients. Like as you said, you are working in an IT company, so we do have business analysts. They'll be just translating between both the clients, between the clients and the kind of company they're working in. So other than this kind of jobs, what are the main jobs that they can get when they are studying this German and Chinese language, ma'am?
I think that the times have changed. Earlier, when I started learning German in 2009 to 14, I did my graduation that time. It was all about learning a language and just using it for, like you mentioned, the field of translation, interpretation, or teaching. That were the limited options. But nowadays, because the world is changing so fast, there is a necessity of learning a foreign language in every single field. So if you see Germany, even China, even Japan, all of these countries are excelling in the field of technology, also in the medicine. And if you talk specifically about Germany, there is a huge requirement of nursing. There is a medical staff. So if you combine your current profession with a language, then you can have more benefit in that targeted country, I would say. For example, there are now a lot of students from Mumbai who specifically learn Chinese because Mumbai is the hub of import and export. So for them, it is beneficial that way. If you have done mechanical engineering, if you have done nursing, that is, you are a medical staff, then and if you learn up to B2 level, that is the fourth level in the level of proficiency, then there are high chances of you getting employed in Germany with a good salary, good benefits. So you have to always see that which language or which country is beneficial for my career, and accordingly, then you can start learning that language. But it is
So
everywhere. All the languages have their perks and advantages and disadvantages. So I think Germany has requirement of lot of staff right now as well. So you can also think about it.
what is the proportion between German and Chinese language students? Like German or Chinese language? So which is the language which is most just read by the students?
Currently, I would say German is the most sought after language because a lot of students go to Europe, and because of the Schengen visa, it also allows them to move in the European zone, and they can easily shift from one Europe country to another. Whereas learning a Chinese language is completely different set of different challenge. So I would say that the number of students who are learning Chinese in comparison to European languages is less. But there are a lot of students learning Japanese and Korean. Yeah,
So you do.
Korean craze is like it's wild how many students are learning Korean right now.
So the thing is that you, other than German and Chinese language, do you know any other language other than that, or you just planning to read or just reading? Tell us about it, ma'am.
Well, I was when I was doing my graduation, that time I was fueled up with this energy to learn all the languages in the world. So that time I started learning Spanish. So I have completed one level of Spanish. I do know a little bit of it. I can understand, but on the level of like on the scale of fluency, no, nothing, not much. But I can understand. I
Yeah.
can introduce myself in Spanish, but I think that's what is limited to right now.
Yeah, okay. So tell us, what is the time period to learn a German and Chinese language? So how many months it will take, and what are the levels? Like you told that for German language there is the last level called B12. Am I right? Yeah, okay.
No, B2.
B2. Okay. So for Chinese language, what are the levels it will take, and what is the time period? Like consider I'm a dull student, and I take more time even to learn a very simple language. So Chinese
Correct.
language is something like, I have to ask this question. In Chinese language, do you know to write, or is it like you know only to speak, ma'am?
I know both.
You know both. So how many characters are there
Correct.
in Chinese language, ma'am?
Okay, let us do step by step. Let us talk about the European languages. All the European languages are divided into six levels. It starts with A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2 is also there, which is the native, close to the native proficiency. Now, to go from A1 to let's say B2, okay, it's a very long path. A1, if you call in a layman's term, A1 is kindergarten level, that the children speak. Then A2 is more like fourth standard, B1 is 10th standard, and B2 is bachelor's, C1 is master's. So if you put a little bit of thought into it, it takes time to go from kindergarten level to master's level. Now, the reality or what the current situation is because a lot of students are getting exposed to these new opportunities out there in the world, outside India as well. They just know, ki, okay, I need to complete B2 certification, but they do not know the process, and because of that, they are not able to put or set up right expectations from themselves or from their trainer or anyone for that matter. So a lot of students think that it is possible to go from A1 to B2 in 6 months. It is possible only if you are spending around 8 to 9 hours a day learning. Because you are trying to understand the language of the entire country, the people that you want to be connected with. And if you compare that example with English, there are now you speak English, I'm speaking English, but there are still going to be certain structures, certain concepts. I may not be comfortable speaking in English, or I may not be able to express even today after speaking German or after speaking English for such a long period of time. Although being exposed to that language from for about 9 10 hours a day. So how can you expect the same from a foreign language? It takes time. So, but you have to be patient enough to go from that. And like you correctly mentioned, as an adult, we have a very small attention span. So we tend to forget things as well. Plus, being an adult poses, has its own responsibility as well. If you're married, if you have a child, so that also comes in place. If you're a working professional, then you're working about what 8 9 hours a day, plus commute, plus your own responsibilities. So again, it is close to impossible to go from A1 to B1 or A1 to B2 in let's say in period of 4 months, 3 months. But I do come across students who upfront tell me that I don't have time. So I tell them that I don't have, I cannot help you further. And that is why all of my courses are a little longer. So I take about 3 months for A1, 3 months for A2, and 4 months for B1. So if a student wants to actually go from A1 to B1 in a live class with me, he will have to sit for 10 months. Yeah, he'll have to
So
complete 10 months.
yeah, in this period of 10 months, so like, do you take online classes for that specific students once in a week, or is it like you have to sit with them daily? And what are the hours, like if you take an online class today, so how many hours does the students wants to be in online in that class, ma'am?
Well, the minimum time that I would take, it depends on the level. So A1 may students are completely new to the language. So I take about 1 hour, 15 minutes, Monday to Friday, every day. In A2, the intensity of the grammar increases. So I take 4 times a week, that is with one gap on Wednesday, for 1.5 hour. And in B1, I take thrice a week, 2 hours each. So that one day that they have, they can work around going through the previous material. If somebody has not come to the class, they can go through the missed content through the recordings, or they can revise. Because as the level increases, the complexity of the grammar increases. You have to keep on going back to the basics. You have to revise a lot. And that is, so this is what you can expect while learning a European language. But for the Asian language, such as Chinese, Korean, or the pictorial language, let's call them, we have different set of challenges. Because like you mentioned, can I speak also, and I can also write. So speaking is different, writing is different. For writing, you have to compulsory sit and practice the characters. And the Chinese, if you want to know about that, Chinese levels are divided into HSK. So we call it Hanyu Shopping Hausher, which is the Chinese level proficiency. So it starts with HSK 1 and it goes up to HSK 6. Ideally, it is HSK 9, but 7, 8, 9, these are for the scholars who want to pursue PhD or who want to do research in it, or whose professional background requires a little bit of higher, very native proficiency level ka Chinese, they have to appear for these levels. And for every single level, we have a set of characters. Characters are the number of the Chinese, the words that we call them characters. So we have to get acquainted with that. So I can write Chinese, I can speak very well, and what else? Yes. So the way I right now my situation is that I teach so much throughout the day that I do not get active time to work around my Chinese. So how I practice is when I am out in the gym or when I'm doing some household chores, that time then I listen to some Chinese podcast or I just play something in the background. So that way at least my listening skills are getting trained. And then whenever I have time, I write. But yes, writing is a challenge for Chinese. They have because you have to remember every stroke. And if you change the stroke order, if you miss to add one stroke, it may also change the meaning.
Yeah,
So that's an additional
yeah. I
focus. Yeah.
wanted to ask how many characters are there in Chinese language and how far it will take. Like if I'm practicing daily for around 1 hour, so how much
Mhm.
days it will take to learn the complete language in Chinese in only writing mode, ma'am?
Okay. Let me ask you this question. Which is your mother tongue?
My mother tongue is Tamil.
Do you know all the words in Tamil?
You mean the characters?
No. All the words that are existing in the language. Do you know?
In Tamil language, like, okay, there is some words that I can't understand, like the ancient Tamil, like I can't
Okay,
understand.
let me put this way. Let me put this way. If I give you now, you speak Tamil as a mother tongue. You speak
Yeah,
in the daily language, all the daily conversations. If I give you a book in Tamil, like a very literature book, will you be able to understand?
yeah, I
Maybe
can.
yes, maybe not. Right?
Yes,
So there are what I'm trying to tell you is that setting up this expectation that I want to completely understand the language is a wrong step. If you ask me that how much time it will take me to have a basic conversation or to have the basic survival Chinese, I will give you the duration as maybe 6 months,
so in order to just
where you will, yeah,
know about
in
the
order to
writing.
just survive in China.
Oh,
Because you cannot have this expectation from a language that I will know each and every word. I should know each and every word. Your mother tongue also, you do not know many words. So
yeah,
how can you expect now
yeah.
English or any other language for
Yeah,
that
I
matter?
was just trying to ask that, okay, if I want to learn the basic Chinese language to write and to learn, like if I visit a country and if I know Chinese language to learn and write, if I can visit the signboards of a specific shop, then I can read the signboards, then I'll be able to know, oh, that's a medical shop. Wow, this kind of supermarket. Oh, I can learn this. I can learn the newspaper. If somebody wants to converse with me and if they want to just fill up a form in Chinese, then I'll be able to fill up the words which I learned. So that's what I was trying to ask actually. Like For how many, like you told that it will take around 6 months. So if I practice daily writing Chinese language,
Correct.
right, ma'am?
Correct. Correct. So writing Chinese language is another thing, and being able to recognize the characters is another thing. So when you, for example, sometimes this happens with me that I can read, I can speak, but I may not understand that character quickly. So again, it involves the entire, approach, that listening, reading, writing, speaking. So if and that would require a lot of time. So you have to give about 3 to 4 hours a day across different modules, not just I'm just writing. Listening as well, reading as well, speaking as well. So if somebody prepares for that, of course, there are some crash courses available that, the businessmen do. We are visiting China, we want some survival phrases. So we only teach that. So that's possible always, but that is just sticking to a script, right? Yeah, I know only this. I do not know more than this. I do not know less than this. So such phrases anyway we can mug up and while visiting a country.
So
Yeah, but to be able to actually be able to handle different kind of situations, you have to give about 6 months to 1 year time. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Other than Chinese, that you told you learned the Spanish language. So how far is it useful to you right now? Because Spanish is one of the European country, I think. So has it helped you in some way or the other way, or is it like okay, you learn Spanish and that's it?
Well, if I come across somebody speaking in Spanish, I can connect with that person. I can also understand songs. I can understand movies. So, although I'm not using Spanish as a active language throughout my day, but I can still enjoy the entertainment part of it. So, if I listen to a song, I may understand few words. So, it's better than going completely blank.
Okay, so consider if a student is coming to you. So how do you actually analyze each and every student? Like for one online class, so you'll be taking a group session. Like how many students are enrolled in that one online session? Like minimum of around how much
Okay.
and maximum of around how much do you actually enroll and do you actually teach in one day, ma'am?
All right. So currently I'm taking about 5 to 6 classes. That is the courses, different kinds of courses per day, which involves um, exam preparation classes and the regular classes that happen for longer duration. Exam preparation classes are mostly one-to-ones where I and student directly connect. So I can get to know the students' weaknesses or weak points, may let it be in writing or reading. Then I give tips or we practice that. And the traditional classes for A1, I take large number of students, that is between 11 to 15. And for A2, I take about 8 to 15. But this also happens that because I record each and every session, like you're recording right now, students can, this allows them very lot of flexibility to go back and study as well. So sometimes even that happens that due to their work commitments or personal commitment, they are not able to attend the class regularly. So they can just learn through the recordings. And when they come to the class next day, they can ask me questions. So I take high number of students because eventually that reduces after some time. Yeah.
So
And on a daily basis, I take up to, I think I'm handling right now about 35 students. That is in the live class. But I also have the recorded class version wherein I give the live class recordings as a hybrid class mode to the students. They complete the recording by their own speed. This Mostly this is for the students who are living in Germany right now because of the time difference. When the students are ready to learn, I it is night in India. So then they go through the recordings and they send me the homework and we then meet every Saturday for the out sessions.
okay, so
So in that mode, I have 50 students who are enrolled with me currently.
So I wanted to ask you one thing. So is it like in the first attempt itself they clear the German and Chinese exams, or is it like they do take a simple one or two exams? Like tell us about the kind of exam preparation. Is it a one shot, or is it like
Okay.
they do fail and they do reattempt it? Or tell us about the experience about the students, ma'am.
Okay. Well, when a student or when anyone tries to learn a language, you have to pay attention to one important thing, that is your capacity to digest. Some students are very fast. They understand the language very quickly because of the abilities, the cerebral capacity to digest so much of information. Plus, they make the language learning as a priority. If you're making it a priority, if you're attending the classes regularly, you do not have to extra prepare for the exam, because exam is nothing but the reflection of whatever you have learned. Na? So you just have to understand कि okay, ये question में what do I have to do? Then we tell you कि ये question में this is true and false. You just have to pay attention to that. But if you are not attending the classes, if you're not practicing listening, reading, writing, speaking anything with your trainer or self or whatever way you are learning language, then you are going to fail the exam. Then you'll have to reattempt. So as the level increases, it is less about the teacher but more about the student. How much the responsibility shifts from teacher to student. Of course, teacher is just there to make it simplified for you, make this language learning journey a little interesting. But whatever she or he has taught, you have to go home, revise, open, again next day revise, before the class revise, do the homework. But now, if you are doing all of this, then who will stop you from clearing the exam? If you are not, then nobody can help you. What will the teacher do?
So, what is the success rate? Like most of the people will advertise themselves like we have 100% success rate when you come and do study our classes, online classes. So, how do you actually expect students to come to you and learn? Like you always tell that whoever comes to me, they'll be having 100% success rate. They'll be having a good job. They'll be learning the language very quickly. Or how is it like you tell other people, and how will you rate yourself? Like okay, I think I'm the best in Chinese and German language kind of training sessions. And tell us about the kind of things that you feel very proud about yourself about being having a career in this German and language trainer, man.
Mm. First of all, my approach towards teaching is not the typical one. So I do not tell the student that if you come to me, you will clear the exam or you will learn everything. You will learn very fast. I just tell them, okay, this is my experience. This is my trainers, teachers, my students' experiences. They have taken 10 months to complete A1 to B1, and they have invested their time and money only once. Do you want to repeatedly do that? Then go to another trainer. If you want to be able to speak language correctly, and if you are ready to put that effort that I am putting in teaching you, if there is a balance between these efforts, we can move ahead. And I also give demo sessions to the students, free demo sessions. I usually provide them the video recordings of my previous classes. And I also ask them that whenever you approach a trainer, always take demonstrations. If you're not convinced through two demos, take three demos. Maybe become a part of their live classes as well. No, because in demo sessions, everybody is going to put forward their best. So why not just surprise the trainer and go in the live sessions and just attend the class and see how they teach. So if you do that, if you like the training, if you're comfortable with it, then only you enroll with me. If not, if you are somebody who is want to jhatpat get the certificate, I am not the trainer for you, and you are not the student for me as well. So I'm actually very selective about my students as well. I make sure that they understand the requirements very well, because I'm not here to completely brush off the syllabus. I want to teach, and I want the students who are able to put their dedication and efforts as well. Of course, the many situations can come in the way, like family emergency, medical emergency. But again, what I've felt through all of these years of training, or since I'm doing it independently on my own, the students see that I'm putting efforts in them. They also take efforts to make sure that they're learning, they're doing the homework. And because of that, I do get a lot of referrals. So, for example, now my April batches are going to start, and I'm already at 60% full registration. Only have to now find new students. So a lot of students I get through reference. And one thing is also that whenever I do ask students continuously for feedbacks, but not for me, not just for me, but also from on their progress. So what do you think? Are you able to speak? Where is the problem? And recently, I also started with a spoken German sessions, free of cost sessions for all of my internal students. So we come together every Wednesday and we speak in German. So when the students see that you are also putting efforts in them, they do not mind putting efforts themselves. If you see, I tell them blindly, pura on point. If you are dull, I will feel dull. I am dull, you will sleep. So we have to make sure that everybody is, enthusiastic, energetic about this learning. And I introduce a lot of PPTs, movies, films, songs, or make it entertaining for everyone. So yes, and also I ask the feedback. So if a student is above A2, then the feedback that I ask is always in German. And so that way I can also see that how much they are able to speak. So all of my students, but just I'll just wrap it up in short words that I do have good retention rate. What I do for the students, it reflects through my efforts, and that is why I will not ever publicize my courses as the fast track courses or the fast paced courses or 100% result. You put efforts, you get the result. If you do not put the efforts, you will not get the result. I'm there to support you anyway. So that's my intention of having my own institute.
Yeah, that's actually a great answer from you because in the beginning of the answer, you told that you do provide demos for the students regarding your classes so that the students will be able to know about the kind of classes they'll be able to have when they're coming and enrolled with you in this kind of education kind of things. The thing is that only if after seeing the demo, you're putting the best effort in you that you're making a demo video about how you're going to teach them the classes in German or Chinese language, and if they're able to grasp a little things from the demo video, then they'll be able to grasp a lot of things when they're actually having a live training with you. So that's the kind of answer which is really different from other trainers. The other trainers will be like, okay, come to us, you'll be getting a very 100% success rate. We do have a lot of connections. We also provide you with a job recruitment. We just provide you with like kind of trainings which will equipped with a lot of tools so that you'll be able to enter into a country and get yourself secured into a job. So these are the things like do for the marketing kind of things. But as you told, that's a very kind of genuine answer because no one tells like this. Okay, if you want to come and join my class, you have to have a little bit taste of it. So let's take a demo video. See to it. Okay, come after 2 days. Then if you're able to understand it, then okay, that's the right thing. You can come and join my class. And also at the same time, as you told, being a student, I have to put my effort. If I put my 100% effort, and if I'm able to go through everything, and if I make mistakes, there is you who is going to support me, who is going to guide me, who is going to analyze my kind of way of learning things, and you're going to give me a quick and correct guidance. So no need to worry about anything.
Correct.
So I think that's the best way which one can tell about oneself. And also at the same time, I can understand that you are at least 10 by 10, 10 out of 10 because of saying a lot of things which is more transparent than other things. Because I don't think the other trainers would say these kind of things like, okay, see my demo. Then if you're totally complete with if you're totally okay with it, you can come and join the class. I think no trainers will just market themselves in such a way. That's a great kind of genuine thing. And also at the same time, what do you plan in the future? Like, what are your future ventures, ma'am? Do you have, like you told that you're going to plan for setting up an institute in Pune. So is it like you have currently 4 language trainers, right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So is it like you also recruit your students in the future to your own company, or is it like you're searching for very experienced persons? Like, what is the minimum experience you're looking for if you want to recruit a person in German and Chinese language trained, ma'am?
So currently, I have not actually started teaching with Chinese properly. I do take some basic level ke courses, but I'm going to write my C1 certification this year. That is the fifth level of Chinese. I'm already at fourth level. So after that, I will actively start. Currently, the requirement of German is high than Chinese, so I'm focusing on that. I'm still making some material for German. And to answer your question about the requirement of the teachers, well, I always tell my students because most of them are women, and women are really passionate about doing homework and learning a language. So I just tell them ki once you complete the beta certification, if you're a fresher, then I will put you on a kids batch because that will test your patience. If you are good at that, then I will give you one-to-ones. If you are good at that, then we will, until then you will accumulate good experience and then I will give you the group classes directly. And if there is an external teacher coming to me with a resume and would want to work with me, the minimum requirement that I have is C1. So that's the highest level. C2 is optional. C1 is required. and a good exposure to the language. And also, I'm very strict when it comes to hiring the trainers. I take very strict interviews, I will say. It includes a written interview and, like we are doing right now, an oral connect, a conversational connect, in which I ask them to teach me something. I also um I also ask one of my students from the previous batches or the ongoing batches who are at beginner level to join that meeting, because my perspective must is little, because I am looking forward to hire the person. I look at the skills in a different way, but the student should be able to understand. So I take a mixed approach of interviews. And
Understand.
if somebody wants to be part of my institute, I my interview process is pretty strict, I would say. Otherwise, I'm a very friendly person, but I can never, how do we say, bargain with the quality of the courses and the teachers. So when I get in the resumes from the teachers, I usually give them a written questions, set of questions, to understand what is their approach toward teaching. So a question such as, if the situational question, so if the student is lacking, how would you deal with that? Or how do you keep up with the immersing trains in the teaching methodology, or etc. And sometimes I also find that the trainers, they are too lazy to answer. So they quickly Google the answers or try to ask ChatGPT for the answers and just copy paste the same thing and just send me. But I am so smart. Okay, over this year of 1.5 years, I've gotten so smart. I can quickly understand which words they have used from ChatGPT and which is the typical way of answering. So I reject them. I reject them setting the same reason that because in all of these candidates, I see a pattern, the same word, the same terminologies they use. So, and let's now talk about the second round. If some student pass through that, then if some teacher, some candidate goes to that first round, then I conduct the online interview, which the same setting that we are doing right now, where the teacher has to present something, a topic. I give the topic on beforehand to prepare, and then I also ask the students of my previous classes to, or the ongoing classes who are at beginner level, to join the interviews. So I get the training perspective, like how what I'm expecting from the trainers, and the teacher, and I also get a feedback from the student if they understand. And if at some point, sometimes this also happens that the teachers, sorry, the students are little biased towards me. So they tend to compare. So I tell them blankly, though, do not compare. If you have to tell me very honest opinion that what do you think about this teacher? If I ever switch you to that teacher, would you be able to enjoy the process? Would you be able to understand? So I try to get only teachers who are passionate like I am, and not somebody who just started their career, or who just started without even understanding what the language is. I have seen mostly that there are some teachers as well who completed two levels, let's say A2, that is fourth standard in layman's term, and they are teaching kindergarten level. So that is fine for them, but for my institute, for the quality of the work that I want to do, the quality of education that I want to provide, I cannot bargain with that. So my hiring process is very strict. But if you are somebody who is looking forward to work with me, the what do we say? You will get the work-life balance. I do not pester my trainers at all, because every trainer comes with a different set of strengths and the teaching style. So I just tell them that you have to follow these pattern, and then how you teach, how do you assess the students' strengths and weaknesses, that is up to you. But I want you to follow certain rules. That's it. Then you cancel the class. You do not cancel the class. If you cancel the class, then you can also take another day. So I give them that freedom, but I need the quality teaching. That's all in return I need from the trainers. So the trainers that I have are since 1 year, and nobody has left, or nobody has, complained anytime that things are not working for them. So I think that's a good sign that, apart from being a good teacher, I think I'm also learning to be a good employer. And so down the line, when I have my own institute, I think this will also help me. Because when I started with all of this, having my own institute, I currently am, like you mentioned, I'm one woman army. I'm doing everything. I'm learning all set of skills, whether it be marketing or lead generation or accounting, everything I'm learning by myself. I'm also handling everything by myself right now. But while doing that, the only thought that keeps me going is when we think of a teacher, we always think of a school teachers. You know, we say that all the school teachers play a huge role in my personality, shaping me, and we always think about that as well, only. But I want to be a teacher in your this career path. That teacher, I want to play that role, not just those kindergarten teachers or school teachers play a huge part, but I also want to be able to play that part in your life because what I do, what the quality of education that I'm trying to provide you, that is going to help the student set up their future generation. And if you have that responsibility to play that part in somebody's life, then why not give your best? Why not just, set up your ethics and values that way that they benefit you, that they benefit you as well as the trainers, or as well as the teachers, or as the students as well who are studying with you. So I take my responsibility very seriously. I do not slack off. I do not, I every student that learns with me, I give them my best. So that is also a little stressful and draining, but I think I enjoy the process. Sometimes things are difficult, but still you enjoy the challenge. So I think I'm enjoying that challenge right now in mine. And that also helps me to understand the different kinds of mentality students have. So every generation has different approach towards learning. So if somebody is a mother, then that student has a different attitude, a different understanding of the process. If the recent generation that we have, the Gen Z, they're very smart. They understand the concepts very quickly. So if in my class, if there are more Gen Zs, then I have to also tweak my learning style, my teaching style according to that. If I have working professionals who are mix of maybe 25 to 40, then I have to tweak my learning style according to that. So yeah, that's a challenge, but I think I enjoy that.
Okay, other than German and Chinese language training, if you had a chance to pursue a different career, what career would you have choose you right now, ma'am?
Well, I have not thought about that in a long time. I think something to do with traveling, maybe. I would have
Traveling.
pursued that. Yeah.
Since it's like you know the German and Chinese language, it will be comfortable for you in traveling. I think that's the thing, right? Or is it like you
Yeah.
go on to go to nature places
Well,
or something like that?
yes. So I was in when I was in college. That time I used to trek a lot. That time I was in adventure sports and all of that. Doing trekking and stuff. Then as I grew a little older, my approach towards traveling went from taking, adventures to taking photos and stuff. But if I had a chance at that time, like when I was in maybe in 2010 or during that time, I would have gone for something related to travel and tourism. Now
So
I like relaxed places. I like to enjoy, just calm down. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So consider if a student is coming in asking you a tip, like if they undergo any kind of depression, like they're not able to grasp up with the studies, or they're not able to balance the education and the kind of life they are living right now. They do have a lot of hard course to work in order to earn some money and also to study. So at these times, if they went through a depression, and what kind of advice would you tell the student to in order to cope up with the studies? And also at the same time, share us about your personal kind of experience in your life, like life knocked up you down to the entire core, and how did you make yourself come out of the depression, or how did you make yourself to grow in such a level that you're right now, so that it will be like a tool, it will be like a guidance to the other people who are watching this video, not only for the student but also for the other fellow human beings, like a tip of advice or what they can proceed with when they're having a lot of downfalls in their life now.
Well, without going into a detailed description of the issue or a problem, I will just put it like this, that the life knocks you down if there is a situation, then the only person that can pick you up is you. So that's what I did with my situation when I was going through something. And I think that is also one of the reasons that I wanted to do something of my own, and that's why I have my own institute. And when a student comes with me with similar situations, because I'm very talkative, I'm very friendly towards the students. Everybody's very relaxed with me. They can literally talk about their personal problems as well. At the times we have discussed that as well. So if they tell me a mixture of that personal problem and something to do with German, then I do get into calls with them and advise them how they can manage it alongside. Because everybody's personal situation is also different, their mentality is different. But I only try to tell them that this is the time where you can push yourself a little bit so that uh, the other factors of your life, the personal things that you're going through right now, maybe from family related things, money related things, whatever it is, that may be out of your control, but this is what you have right now, it is in your control. So if you put efforts in this, you don't have to worry about that second part. So just do whatever is in hands, whatever you can control. Because life is going to anyway throw you different kind of situations. It's never rosy, right? So why not do something that we can control, which is such as let's say studying. Now there are a lot of students as well who say that we are working so much. There are so many deadlines we have to take care of, or I'm a mother. I don't have time from my child. But there are also certain way in which you can learn passively. For example, if you are doing your chores, you can listen to a podcast. Every all of us can take out 10 minutes and after, so my usual approach is that I give them multiple options, multiple solutions. But after that, also, if somebody is saying, Rushika, it is not happening, then I cannot push anybody beyond that because I come with my limitations. I am here across this screen from you, telling you how to deal with it. But that will to do by yourself to change your situation is in your hand. If you're not going to do that, then I cannot advise you anymore. So there was time when I used to get emotional about the students' stories and try to put efforts. I still do that. I'm very passionate about them, their situation. I try to support them in every way I can. But after some time, after some limit, it is beyond my hands. So, like I said in the previous questions as well, it's a collaboration between a trainer and a teacher. It is not you are enrolling at one trainer, you complete the course and that's it. What you do with the knowledge that you have gained, with the confidence that you have gained, is up to you. You may use it for a while or you may not use it in the future as well. That depends on your entire course of destiny. But jitna ho sake utna try, give your best. Whatever will happen will happen. Nobody can predict, right?
Yeah, okay, that's a great answer. So tell us about the kind of experience you had in German and Chinese, like any kind of unforgettable experience that you wanted to share with the audience. Like there are a lot of advantages in learning German and Chinese language. You went to Berlin, you went to. I mean, I want to ask the other thing. In Chinese, there are different languages: Mandarin, Cantonese. So are you professional in every language, or is it like only Mandarin, or is it like only Cantonese, ma'am?
Okay. The Chinese that I've learned is Putonghua, which is the standardized script, which is spoken in mainland China.
Oh, mainland China.
But like I said, it's a standard script. When I went to China, that standard script, that was a bookish one that I've studied, that also had many dialects. So the changes in the words, the way words are pronounced. So I was able to understand them, not 100%, but some things here and there. But the good thing that happened was they were able to understand me because I was speaking the standard script. So I was thinking I am able to speak standardized script in Chinese. So the unforgettable or the like you mentioned, ki, what are the benefits of going there? I think connecting with people is the top skill that you can ever achieve in your life. Because irrespective of where you go, we need people around us. We need that social connect. So if you are able to put forward your emotions, respect the person in their own language, have the empathy towards them, then that is going to benefit you in your personal relationships as well as professional field. So a lot of the students, I want to talk about one incident or one situation. There are many students who are in Germany. who are in Germany for a long duration, let's say 6 years, 5 years, but they do not put efforts in understanding the language. What their goal is, get the Schengen visa and just roam around Europe or just have fun. Okay. And then when they're looking forward to have a job in Germany, then they cry. Okay, we are not able to speak. Arre, you have that environment around you to speak in German, but still you do not try. You do not try. And then you just cry about these things. Germans are not approachable. How will they be approachable if you are not trying to, speak with them? Of course, not every, that also depends on multiple factors, such as if you are in the big city, then everybody's lives are very fast. So nobody has time to stop there and teach you how to speak in German or Chinese or any other language. If you are in the village side or little, let's say, uh, small cities, small places, then people may have time there, may have the curiosity towards you to teach you, to talk with you, to interact with. But I think the students who are in Germany, let's say, or in France, any other country, and you are trying to learn that language, um, you have to make sure that you are actually speaking in that language to be able to connect. And you never know from which conversation you'll get good prospects of the future or job opportunities. So I think learning a language in any field, it is always going to be beneficial because you are trying to connect with a person opposite you. You're trying to connect the mentality of the person. And of course, if you put your efforts, why will not the person reciprocate your efforts and be thankful towards that? So let it be in any field, and specifically the nursing field, no? Like we have mentioned that nursing professionals, medical staff require B2 certification. Now, a lot of students also have B2 certification, but they are not able to speak. So the German employer asked them, yes, because learning a language has become, teaching a language has become a business now, to put it very harshly. It's sad, but it is that case. So a lot of institutes provide fast-paced courses. That jatpat you do the courses, you get the certification, go to Germany and start your life. But nobody tells you that how much it is difficult to connect with people. And if it is difficult to connect with people, then you have to actually understand the language. You have to write, you have to immerse yourself. Then only you will be able to speak little. Then if you are in Germany, then you will speak more. But again, you have to build that confidence. And that is why having a good support from your teachers is required. So, yeah, there are so many students who also try to learn self. That's a good thing. So in my case as well, I learned German through Goethe Institute and because I was doing the bachelor's as well. But I learned Chinese by myself. However, because I had already learned one foreign language, or for that matter, two foreign languages, Spanish including, I knew how the language works. I just needed to get acquainted with the basics, which I did through one institute here in Pune. So that is why, for me, learning Chinese has been easy. But if you are a completely beginner, then for you, at least I think you should have a teacher to start with, and then once you understand, then you can switch to self mode as well. That's possible.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. So
But yes,
yeah, I was asking about the kind of unforgettable happiest moment that you had in German, Berlin, or in China. So, what was that happiest moment regarding being a language trainer? What are the advantages did you get? Like, tell us, share us about your experience being in a different foreign country, and how far does your foreign language knowledge helped you in survive in this country, ma'am?
well, when I had first time visited Germany, that time I was not a trainer. I was working in accounting in Amazon. So we were dealing with mostly German vendors. And I went for a mentoring program. So all of my colleagues or the students, the mentees were Germans. So because I could speak good German, it was easy for me to connect with them. And all of us came from different places, and we had the mentoring program in Berlin. So after the working hours as well, we used to go out, and because I was able to connect with them through their language, they also showed me the city. So they also took me around and showed me the city from the native point of view. So that was a great experience for me. And last year in China, let me talk about that. So I have been teaching German since a long time. So I call myself a German trainer and Chinese student right now. So when I went to China last year, I because I had the highest certification there, in every situation I was asked to speak in Chinese. Let it be in front of the TV program interviews. So we there was a lot of exposure to that as well. And because I was able to talk in Chinese, I would also be again the same thing, but only the place is different, the people are different. I was able to connect to people. And I was not only able to connect to the same generation students or the natives there, but I was able to talk to all kinds of people. Let it be old, let it be a baby, because my exposure to the language, Chinese, is of 5 years. So I came across a lot of vocabulary. I came across a lot of phrases as well. And because of that, I think this time I was able to talk more fluently with the natives there. So I cannot pinpoint to a particular experience that this was great because I look at the overall experience, and looking at the overall experience, China was an excellent, unforgettable time in my life, which I had last year.
Okay, ma'am. So how far do you think the proportion of students enrolling in German language in the upcoming 10 years will be? Is it like currently you're having offline online
Mhm.
classes for around 35 students you're teaching per day. So how far do you see yourself in after 10 or 5 years, ma'am? Like how many students do you wish to teach like single-handedly for yourself, or is it like you'll be making I do understand that you'll be having a lot of trainers under you teaching the students. So per day, how many students do you plan to enroll to make them study German language in the next 5 or 10 years, ma'am?
When looking at the trend of the requirement of German, I think in the next 10 years, it is going to multiply a lot because a lot of students are now getting aware of different kinds of opportunities that you have after learning a foreign language, specifically German. So I see that there are going to be a lot of medical stuff, engineering students, hotel management, such field के people will travel to Germany. So I see myself being a very busy person in next few years, and I do want to reach out to more students as much as I can. So whatever is in my capacity, that those many students I will handle. And if I'm not able to handle, I will definitely find a quality education teachers. But there is going to be a lot of requirement of German speaking um, workforce, I will say, in next few years.
So, if you'd like to tell us about a kind of inspiration, like you want to learn German from a very qualified teacher, so you should have witnessed a lot of teachers. Actually, you should have learned German language from an instructor. So, whom do you think that okay, they are the pretty smartest person to be a German language trainer? Like you can tell anyone now.
Are you asking about the names of my past
Yeah, if you
teachers
if you
or
don't,
the qualities that
yeah,
a person
yeah, if you
has?
wanted to tell, you can tell. Otherwise, you can tell your wish that you wanted to learn German language from this person from any country or something like that. Whatever you wanted to share, you can just share.
I do not recall any particular name right now because like I said, every trainer, every teacher has its own strengths and weaknesses. You like some part of this teacher, you like that part of the different teacher. But overall, what I feel ki, if you're looking forward to if hire a or register with a trainer, you should always see if that trainer has highest certifications. Do not fall into any trainer which has less than B1 certification. Or let me just put it very correctly. I'll rephrase C1 or B2 certification.
So,
And also, experience also matters.
so these kind of experiences. What is the minimum experience that you would tell a student to look for a language trainer now?
The minimum experience should be around 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
2 to 3 years, and that means that trainer has exposed the teaching techniques to variety of trainers, a variety of students, sorry, and also age groups. Now, because teaching a professional, it is different. Teaching a child, it is different. So you have to tweak your mentality accordingly. So if let's say I start today and if I want to register myself for a German course, and if I'm a professional, then I would also want my trainer. who has dealt with professionals only, because then he or she will know that what I'm expecting. So yes, you have to always go as per your requirements.
Okay, ma'am. So being a language trainer, so if you want to upgrade yourself, like as we in the middle of the conversation, you were telling like the Gen Z students are really very smart. They just grasp everything at a very short time of period. So during these days, they do have access to Chat GPT, Google, and many more. What more things? They have more accessibility to the online things. The thing is that they'll be more knowledgeable than you. They'll be having any all kind of online trending things at their own hand, and they'll be able to upgrade, equip themselves with the current trend. So are these kind of situations, so is it like you keep on studying, upgrading yourself in German and Chinese language, or is it like, okay, I have learned the best, I have learned to the core, so I do not want to learn anything in the future now?
No, like we are also evolving. Language also evolves with us. So there are also changes in the language that we see, basically, mostly, especially the street language. So the Gen Zs are, famous to know a lot of street language terms. So I try to also see that I'm also learning some of them. The core of the language does not change. The basic grammatical structures, they remain as it is. But only some things. For example, the kind of language Gen Zs use, maybe sometimes when I have time, try to look it up in German or Chinese. Yeah, that way I try to keep myself updated. Yeah. And if I am not able to understand, it doesn't harm to just ask the student. That does not make me less of a teacher. So it's fine. You can just simply ask the students.
So
What
being
does
a
it mean?
Yeah, okay. Being a language trainer, so you have told yourself that you are strict in recruiting language trainers under you. So tell us, how do you actually take your classes? Like online classes, if a student is coming and enrolling under you, so consider that student is already a very nervous student, and if they want to undergo vigorous language training sessions under you, so is it like you go with in a very strict mode, or is it like, okay, I'm not going to be strict with you. I'm just going to align with the flow of the study, even if you are very dull in your studies and you're finding it very difficult to grasp what I'm trying to tell, I'll be able to cooperate with you, I'll be sitting next to you, I'll be taking online classes with you. And even if it takes around double the time, like you told that in order to make a very professional German language, it will take up to 10 months. So consider that students is taking double the thing, like around 20 months. So is it like you keep on proceed with the student, or is it like, okay, I have done with you, I cannot I cannot be with you, please find some other language trainer? Because I can see many students coming and studying under me, they are able to study these classes within 10 months, but you're taking a lot of time, please get rid of me. You can even take the money back with you what you have paid. So tell us about the kind of the mode you are in
Okay.
when you're kind of dealing with a student who is very dull and who wanted to, but the student is really he wanted to make something in German language. So these situations, what will you do right now?
Okay. Well, it totally comes down to the structure of my classes and the duration that I take the classes for. Now, I get two kinds of students. One, absolute fresher. So, if I have a fresher, that is who had just started exploring the language, then that entire path is very easy, because from day one onwards, these students are used to me or to my teachers, so they know, they understand, and then we walk with them for the entire 3 months of period for A1. But if I get a student who has completed A2 level, A1 level, that is the basic level or any levels, with another trainer, but in a fast track mode, let's say 14 days, 1 month, 1.5 month, then on that student, I have to specifically spend a little more efforts, because I know that my students, I have given them the best. They have from the day one itself, they are used to sentence formation methods, or they are now used to me. They know how to learn the language. But if there is an external student who comes from me from a different source, then I have to put extra effort on them. So and like you asked, how do I take my classes? All the levels have their fixed curriculum and they have their fixed books. So we take you through the books, and in addition to that, in every level, I take live presentations. And we also do breakout room sessions. So I put the students once I know that okay, they have now good level of, they can speak with each other, at least the basic, at least ask the basic information. Then I put them into breakout rooms and then they talk with each other. So apart from the traditional way of teaching, I try to introduce lot of, actually plenty of, lot is also a small word in front of that, plenty of activities for them. Very interactive. My classes are never boring. This is something I'm very proud of. And my PPTs are never boring. I keep on bringing something or else that makes them enjoy it. So until now, I have not had any complaints from any trainer that my classes are boring from my students. But yes, if I feel that no, ये method मेरा पुराना हो गया है, this is outdated and maybe this will not work. So I stop it there and I introduce a new method. So I keep on tweaking, like you, in continuous continuation with the previous question, I keep on tweaking my method, and it's also fun for me. So I am almost done with preparation of all the material that is required material, PPTs, grammar worksheets, etc. But in the next few years, I think I will have to keep on, editing them, keep on making them relevant to the time.
Okay, ma'am. So right now you're teaching online classes. So when can we expect offline classes? When are you planning to start registrations in Pune? Like at what like in 2026 or 27? When can we expect an offline class from you, ma'am?
Uh, I actually I have not given a thought or set up a deadline for that. Because my this is my second year of business, handling everything alone. The first year, just I just started right after I left my job, and now since then, now I have started understanding the students and their requirements and their mentality after being exposed to so many students throughout this 2 years. So I think I will still take my time to explore that more, and once I'm sure yes, the offline classes are also going to benefit them. Then I'll start with the offline classes. One thing I like about online classes is I can quickly show something on internet. Now, and in offline classes, a lot of students still prefer to go that mode because they feel that offline classes are always more effective than the online classes. But the truth is that it totally depends on you and the trainer. So you don't have to restrict yourself. The online classes are also are not that great. Offline, I do want to start at some point, but I've just started my career, so I have still um, a long time to explore this.
So
Yeah.
once again, thank you, Rushika ma'am. We have spoken a lot about
Thank you so much for
German and
having me.
language trainer. So thank you for accepting my invitation and coming to this interview. So people who are watching this interview right now, please do subscribe to our Women Today channel so that you'll be able to receive notifications whenever I post new videos regarding interviews regarding women entrepreneurs and working women across India and across the world. So please do if you have any kind of doubts regarding German and Chinese language, our Rushika ma'am in Pune is there to help you by just giving you proper guidance in online. And as you see in the interview, she is handling a lot of online training sessions right now. So you can also comment in the YouTube and you can also just proceed with it. I'll just share her link, Rushika German and Chinese language trainer Instagram link. I'll share the link with you in YouTube description so that you'll be able to know about her. You can just contact her and you can get your German and Chinese languages get trained by her. So that's the thing. So I once again wishing you all the best for your future upcoming ventures in this German and language training sessions, Rushika ma'am. So anything else if you wanted to tell me right now if you want to tell any kind of message to the people, you can tell right now, ma'am.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for this, not just for inviting me, but also starting with this initiative to highlight uh, specifically the journeys of various women around you. I totally understand it must be a little hectic for you to do the entire research, to find out or to find if that candidate that you're looking at, the woman, the profile, if it is going to benefit the society. So first of all, thank you so much for doing that. And second, for inviting me here. And I just want to tell everybody who's watching this video that language learning can be an excellent choice. But to do that, you have to know the entire knowledge. So do not just look at the ad and enroll yourself without getting to know the entire information. Uh, Try to understand the entire process through YouTube videos or connect with me or any of such excellent trainers that are around you. and then you get into that, so that you will feel completely satisfied with your choice and the efforts and the time. You can reinvest money, but you cannot reinvest the time. I mean, it is, you shouldn't invest your time and money once and get the most of the advantage out of it. So that's it, I think.
Yeah,
Thank you so
okay.
much.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening. Have a nice day. So once again, thank you for everything, for giving a lot of information about the kind of teachings you're doing right now. So people who are watching this interview, have a good day. This is your host, Krishna, hosting this interview. And today our guest is Rushika, ma'am, a German and Chinese language trainer from Pune. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.